The design of your digital IR filter can be done using your transformation techniques. One is called as the bilinear transformation techniques, and the other one is called as your impulse invariance response transformation technique. And as we know that for designing of your digital filter, directly will not be designing a digital filter. The first thing is we'll be designing an analog filter, then we'll be converting into a digital filter. Yes, as we know that for designing of your analog filter, there are so many easy methods and all those things, procedures. That's the reason we will try to design your analog filter first, then to convert into a digital filter. And of course, for converting your analog to digital filter, any transformation technique can be used. Today, I'm just explaining you one transformation technique, that is your bilinear transformation technique. But before designing the digital filter, the given data, it will be in the digital data itself. The given digital data has to be converted into an analog data. Okay, and that particular conversion, or what we call it as the data, that is a digital frequency data, will be means changed into an analog frequency data, and those part is called as a pre-warping. So the first step what we have to do is nothing but a pre-warping. Pre-warp each specified banded frequency of the digital filter to a corresponding banded frequency of an analog filter. And that can be done with a simple formula, calling it as omega of p, which is equal to 2 by t into tan of w of p by 2 with respect to the pass band. And with respect to the stop band, it is omega of s, which is equal to 2 by t into tan of omega s by 2. In this, the w of s represents the digital data, and your omega p and omega s represents the analog data. And for our kind information here, as we are doing your pre-warping, your t value, if they are not specified, the t value, it is better to go for us t is equal to 1. Okay, since it is more convenient for your computation. Okay, and of course, when we are converting from your analog to digital, same t can be maintained at the end. Okay, that is your first step, what is called as a pre-warping. What is the next step after doing the pre-warping? That is, we will get the data in the analog form itself. That is, the complete data will be getting in the form of omega of p, omega of s, kp and k of s. Once we get the data in this particular form, then I can start designing your analog filter. Okay, that is designing of analog filter. That is nothing but obtaining the transfer function in the form of your analog filter using your transformation technique, transformation table, and all those things, approximation tables. Okay, and the final step, once we get your analog filter, the final step is to convert your analog filter into a digital filter. That is, the HA of S has to be converted into a H of Z. That is the transformation using your bilinear transformation. This bilinear transformation tells me that to convert my H of S into H of Z, S has to be replaced by 2 by T into 1 minus Z inverse by 1 plus Z inverse. And keeping T is equal to the same thing what we have followed in the pre-warping, that is T is equal to 1 second itself. This is the simple steps what we have to follow for converting your that is for designing your digital filter, that is for designing your digital filter, convert the digital data into analog, is called as a pre-warping, then design the analog filter. Then once we get the analog filter, we have to convert into a digital filter using your formula 2 by t into 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 plus z inverse. So this is the flow graph what we have to do according to the same thing what I've discussed right now. Okay, we will trying to design a digital filter here with the given data with the minus 3.01 dB cut of frequency 0.5 pi radians, a stop band attenuation of at least 15 dB at 0.75 pi radians. We have to find the system function h of z. Yes. Yes, the given data which has been written in the form of kp minus 3.01 dB, The omega here it is given in the digital omega of p, which is equal to 0.5 pi. Ks is equal to minus 15 dB and omega s is equal to 0.7 pi. In this 0.75 pi. Okay, in this, what is the first step we have to do is pre-warping. The pre-warping, that is nothing but converting your digital into an analog data. For that, using your pre-warping formula, omega p dash is equal to 2 by t into tan of omega p by 2, and omega s dash once again 2 by t into tan of omega s by 2. We know omega s is equal to 0.5 pi and omega p is equal to 0.5 pi, omega s is equal to 0.75 pi. Substituting both the things, I will be getting omega of p dash and omega of s dash. That is, I got the analog frequency data. Then once we get the analog frequency data, the second step is design your filter. So from the given specifications, it is we need a monotonic passband and a stop band. Monotonic passband and stop band is nothing but your Butterworth filter. Okay, so we don't have any ripples and all those things. We need a monotonically passband, smooth passband and a stop band. So they wanted to design a Butterworth filter. So for designing a Butterworth filter, we know the simple formula, that is to calculate the order of the filter n is given by log of 10 raised to the power of minus kp by 10 minus 1 divided by 10 raised to the power of minus ks divided by 10 minus 1, entire thing divided by 2 log of omega p by omega s. Okay, so once we substitute the given data with the kp of minus 3 dB, ks is equal to minus 15 dB, omega p and omega s, what we have calculated in the first step as 2 and 4.828. Substituting everything, the order of the filter, what we got here is 1.94. So we know that the 1.94 is has to be rounded up to the next higher value. The next higher value will be 2. So I have to take the order of the filter as 2 here. Okay. Yes. What is the next step? Once we get the order of the filter, we have to find out the transfer function or nothing but the poles of that particular order. N is equal to 2. To find out the poles for a Butterworth filter, we know S of k is equal to 1 with an angle of theta k, where theta k is given by pi k by n plus pi by 2n plus pi by 2. Okay, then substituting the values of k is equal to 0, 1 up to what? Up to 2 of n here. But we know that k value here, the n value here, it is 2, so it is 4. So we have to calculate for k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, but it is not necessary for me to calculate all the values, because we know that the poles which are lying in the left half of the plane has to be considered. So the poles which are lying in the left half of the plane, that we will be getting for s, that is k is equal to 0 and k is equal to 1 itself. If we calculate for the remaining values, the remaining poles will be in the what the positive values will be there. That is nothing but the poles will be lying on the right of the plane. Okay, so yes, substituting for k is equal to 0, 1, so we'll be getting sk is with the 1 with the angle of theta k, then calculating for theta k, and substituting in the form of e to the power of j into theta k, that is nothing but cos theta k plus j sin theta k. So we'll be getting the values, those values has to be substituted in a form of transfer function, that is h of s is given by 1 over s minus sk, that is s minus s naught into s minus s1. And once we do all those things, the order of the filter what we get is, that is that is the order of the filter, that is second order filter. The transfer function what we get is h2 of s is equal to 1 over s square plus root 2s plus 1. So of course we can refer the table also, which has been given in any of the textbooks, any of the thing, which is a standard for the order of n is equal to 2. Yes, then once we get the transfer function, that is we have to find out the cutoff frequency omega to meet the passband requirement. To meet the passband requirement, we have a cutoff frequency formula, that is omega c is given by omega p divided by 10 raised to the power of minus kp by 10 minus 1, entire thing, that is the denominator term, to the power of 1 by 2n, where n is equal to the order of the filter. Yes, by substituting the values here, we'll be getting omega c as 2 radians per second. Yes, once we get the omega c as 2 radians per second, we know that the low pass filter, whatever we are designed, we have to convert into a low pass transformation. For low pass to low pass transformation, yes, referring once again into the transformation table, I have to replace my S by omega c. Okay, so that is, instead of S, I have to replace S by omega c, where omega c is nothing but 2 radians per second, that is S by 2. So in place of S, we have to replace by S by 2. Once we replace that, I'll be getting an analog filter, that is HA of S, that is an analog filter in the form of transfer function as HA of S is equal to 4 divided by S square plus 2 root 2 S plus 4. So that whatever the transfer function till we have obtained is an analog filter transfer function. But we need to design a digital filter using your bilinear transformation. Yes, for converting your analog filter into a digital filter, that is using your bilinear transformation. That is, we have to substitute my S by 2 by t into 1 minus z inverse divided by 1 plus z inverse. So wherever we have a s in those places, replace by 2 by t into 1 minus z inverse by 1 plus z inverse with the t value, keeping it as the same, that is taken as 1. So replacing all those things, my final h of z will be 1 plus z inverse to the power of 2 divided by 3.414 z plus 0.5858 z to the power of minus 2. So this is the transfer function, or this is the thing what we are supposed to obtain for designing of your digital filter using your bilinear transformation technique.